What is up, Fireflower gals, Tanuki flying guys? This is the Nintendo Fever Podcast, the podcast that will cool that fever that all you have for Nintendo things and even more things about video games and such parties and things have you. We are a weekly show now on YouTube every single Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We are going to be talking about all sorts of fun stuff. I'm Matt, the much not understanding of Mario Party genius that I am. And my partner, as always, is here with me, Holly. How are you doing this week, Holly?
Doing really good. The load has been lessened in terms of schoolwork this week, so I'm getting to the end of this week, and there's like so little that I have to do that it's bliss.
Awesome.
This is going to be a great weekend.
Blind Hostility just said, you're live. Yes, we are. I'm glad you can hear us at the beginning of the show. Wasn't it last show where we thought we were live, we were talking for like 5 minutes or something like that, and it turns out we weren't. I like how, thank you so much, by the way, Blind Hostility, for like checking on us, just like, are you guys live? Because you're not live yet. It's like, okay, thank you. We appreciate it.
That is so helpful.
It really legitimately is. I am by no means like poking fun in any way. Like, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm sincerely thankful to have somebody that cares that much about the show. So, yes, we are a show that's going to talk about Nintendo stuff. We're going to be talking about all sorts of things. We're going to talk about recent swag, what we've been playing. We're also going to be talking about Japanese influence inside of video game culture. This is going to be interesting because there's a lot of games, a game that recently just came out, that are heavily inspired by Japanese, pop culture. I'm trying to think of like the proper word to talk about, or to
sometimes
say.
they just take place in Japan, and they've got just a lot of influences, Japanese.
Yes.
Influences. Yep.
So I'm going to very quickly, while we get the show rolling and running and stuff, we have Blind Hostility obviously here, which we always appreciate him stopping by. But I want to see if we can get a couple more people in on the show, hanging out in the chat with us and stuff. We have a lot to talk about. So if we could get, a few more people, I think that it would make it even funner. Funnier, all those things. So I'm going to drop a couple links real quick, if you don't mind, Holly. If while I'm doing that, if you could maybe touch up on the news that recently happened. We have some Nintendo news.
Yeah, so we haven't actually done a news section in a long time, it feels like. We just nixed that section, I guess. But I felt like there were a couple things that happened this week that were of interest.
I agree,
so of course Nintendo, as they promised, they're going to be adding new NES games to the NES on Nintendo Switch Online service every month. So it's the beginning of October, so therefore we have 3 new games that have been added to the service, and those are NES Open Tournament Golf, Solomon's Key, and Super Dodgeball. And I'm curious, Matt, if there's any of these that you are familiar with, because I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, Super Dodgeball. I am actually pretty familiar with. I remember playing that when I was younger, quite often actually. So like I was pretty excited to see that one. I would love to play it online a little bit, which I haven't actually done. I have not played any of these NES games online like I have been wanting to. Have you tested the online at all? It looks like it works good from stuff that I've seen.
I tested it a little bit when it first came out. There was a big lag problem, probably because my internet is not the best.
It's probably it's all Nintendo's fault. That's not your fault. It's Nintendo's fault.
Yeah, I mean, Splatoon works fine on my internet connection, and I'm like, that seems like a lot more demanding than a bunch of old 80s games on the NES. So.
Me and Blind Hostility want you to take that back. Old 80s games? Just kidding. I agree with you. I would imagine it's probably not too demanding. Yes, I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Still dropping links. Oh, I wanted to talk about, you said easy mode or easy version of The Legend of Zelda. I disagree with this.
Okay.
So, did you already talk about it?
A bunch of items and stuff at the beginning of the game doesn't make it any easier?
It's not that it doesn't make it any easier. I agree that it's an easier version, but I don't think that's the reason why it exists. I feel like this is like one of those times where I don't know if this ever happened, and maybe not, but like, have you ever like been playing like a friend's game, either on their console or they let you borrow their cartridge or something, and you turn it on, and when you turn it on, they have a save file. and it's like, oh, I'm gonna go jump into their save file and see what's going on. It's like you're jumping into somebody who is like a master at Zelda save file, and then you just get it like run around and wreak havoc on everything. It's like, in a lot of ways, it reminds me of like Breath of the Wild, which I know sounds
OP.
Yeah, I know what you mean by easy version. I get what you're saying, but I don't personally feel that's the reason for it to exist, is that it needs to be an easy version. I feel like it's like, this is one of those things that like, hey, do you like having fun in video games? It's like, yeah, I like having fun in video games. It's like, okay, cool. We're going to give you this thing that's just going to allow you to have more fun while you play video games. And I think that's really cool personally.
Yeah, I appreciate it also. I haven't looked into it. So from what I understand, it just gives you a lot of items to start out with. It gives you like the most powerful sword, or maybe the second to most powerful sword right off the bat. Mm-hmm. Does it give you any additional heart containers that you're aware of?
I can't remember how many you start with in the original one. I didn't check it.
Just 3, I think.
Oh, then it gives you
as is typical.
3 more. I think 3 more. I think.
Okay, I haven't heard about that yet. But...
I think it gives you 6. I think 6 is the correct answer. 6 is my final answer. 6 is my final answer.
Not bad. That's probably where I would suffer the most. Is like, even with all those items, like when the enemies hit you, it still does quite a bit, and you don't have a lot of hearts to begin with. So
still,
yeah, I can't wait to try it out. I haven't done so myself yet.
Oh, we have a Discord now. Let's go ahead and jump into that real quick. I think that's all that we want to talk about for the news, right? Is there anything else that we wanted to speak on?
Well, have you heard about, I think it's called fitness boxing?
I have no idea. No, I do not know what this is. What is this? What is Nintendo going to force me to buy and do now?
So there's this fitness game because, you know, the Switch has to have its own kind of version of Wii Fit. It's called Fitness Boxing. I don't know who it's developed by. Maybe it is developed by Nintendo, but I know Nintendo is publishing it.
Is it?
So you get these trainers. There's like a huge variety of trainers that you can choose from in this game, and they will kind of lead you along in throwing punches with your Joy-Con to the rhythm of music, and they'll try to get you active and whatnot.
Stop
Nintendo
trying.
Just randomly announced this.
Stop trying to make me healthy, Nintendo. Stop it. I don't want to be healthy, and you can't make me be
soft.
Yeah, I want to be soft. Okay, I don't want to be healthy. That's not exciting. Who wants to do? Okay, so so yes, that looks interesting. I'm not too excited for it. I don't plan on buying it. I don't think. I don't know. It depends.
We don't know much about it yet, so I mean, it's random and interesting that was announced.
It's a Nintendo thing for them to do, right? Like, that just feels like very Nintendo. Like, they don't have any press or publicity about it, and then they're just going to drop it, and that's it. That's all. Oh, well. Okay. Sounds good.
Comes in January, I believe. Yeah.
Well, you know, New Year's. Oh, yeah, I did see the tweet about the New Year's resolution or whatever. Get a jump start on your goals for 2019 or something like. Yeah, making me feel bad already. It's like, come on, Nintendo. I haven't even had my Christmas dinner yet. Relax. Stop being that judgmental parent.
We haven't eaten our Halloween candy, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So a couple quick production notes. I don't know if you guys can hear any white noise coming through. The reason why you might be hearing some white noise is because I have my my baby monitor set up through my mixing board, through my computer, so that I can hear if my daughter wakes up. I have many children, an army of children, if you will, and one of them left to go to New York with my wife, and they're flying home right now. So my wife and my oldest daughter are not in the house right now. My 2 next in line, my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old, yeah, there's more. Don't even worry about it. They are actually going to spend the night at a friend's house. Oh my gosh, my wife is here right now in the chat. They're watching it on the plane. Hello, my wife and daughter. I'm so excited. You have no idea. I was just explaining why you might hear white noise and if you do or don't. And also, there's a small chance that I may have to quickly throw my headphones down and run out the door, because if my daughter starts crying, I'll need to go take care of her, obviously, in which case Holly will have to then man the entire show all by herself. So that's just a really quick production note. Holly, do you know what my wife and daughter went to go see in New York?
Some awesome musical, maybe. Isn't that what people go there for?
Well, yes, very true, but it's not a musical. It was actually Harry Potter, The Cursed Child, live on Broadway. Are you a Harry Potter fan?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought maybe you would be. Most people are, so I wasn't. I'm not assuming nothing, but they really enjoyed it. They loved it. They also saw a musical parody called Puff, which is like making fun of like Hufflepuffs or something like that. My daughter Lillian just said, "Hi, Daddy. It's Lily. Hi, Lily. I can't believe you are flying in an airplane right now, and you are watching the podcast in which I'm doing while you're not at home. This is weird. This is really surreal right now." Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with the show. Otherwise, I'll just spend the
joy of modern technology.
It really, really is actually. It's crazy. So let's get into Recent Swag. Recent Swag is a segment that we have here where we talk about new things, usually physical purchases of some kind. We want to talk about the exciting things that you're able to actually go to the store and buy or order and have it in your collection. Digital collections are cool. Physical collection, much cooler. So, Holly, did you get anything new for Recent Swag this week?
Well, last week I implied that I had a package coming, and it came right on time.
Awesome.
And I can finally reveal what it is to the general public.
What is it?
It is Undertale Physical Edition.
Oh, from Limited Run
Undertale.
Games? Is that what it is?
No, it's just a general release, I believe, of the
cool.
game. There's a lot of indie games that, they'll just show up on store shelves. Like, I see Cave Story, like, all over the place, just sitting on the shelves at Walmart.
I've thought about buying that one before, just because even though I don't think I don't care about Cave Tale or Cave World or whatever it's called all that much. I think it looks cool, but it's just nothing that I've ever wanted to like spend a lot of time with for some reason. But I've always wanted to own it in my collection because there's thousands of different variations of it, like 3DS, DS, Switch. I'm pretty sure there's a Wii U. There's probably a Wii. There's probably an NES version or something like that. Like, I would love to like have a collection of all the Cave Story versions of it. I think that'd be kind of cool. But anyways,
yeah, the physical edition on Switch, like even though it's not like a limited edition thing or anything, it always, I believe, comes with a little soundtrack, a little disc with some music on it, and a keychain or two, and maybe one other thing that I can't. Oh yeah, just like a classic style booklet. Like cool, instruction booklet. So it is a pretty cool piece of swag to get.
Now, have you played Undertale before?
No.
Are you planning?
No spoilers, please.
Are you planning on playing Undertale?
I was planning on playing it like all week, but I just could not find the time. It was a very busy week, so I'm going to start it as soon as I can. It's tough, though. I mean, The World Ends With You just came out, and obviously that's going to be taking up a lot of my attention, but
yeah.
You do your best to play the games you can.
Yes, for sure. I've heard nothing but good things about Undertale. That's why I'm interested in it, because it's supposed to be a really funny throwback RPG and stuff like that. So I don't know. If you enjoy it, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it. My recent swag, I got a lot of stuff. I got 50 NES games because there was a store that was going out of business and I got them for a good price. Many of these games I'm planning on selling. I'm going to tell you right now that if you're interested in getting some NES games that are semi-rare, uncommon games, let me know if there's a game that you're looking for. If not, go and check my eBay store out. I know this sounds like I'm a shrill and just like a scalper right now. I'm really not, I promise. But like some of these games, I'm never going to, I have no need for them. So I'm going to sell them and hopefully continually put money in my pocket so that my wife is happy with me. Hi, honey. And then also because I want to buy games. I want to buy new games, obviously. So I was able to get some of these games at a good price. So I'm selling them. You can find me on eBay at WiiDS WiiDS Guy. I made it a long time ago. Please don't judge me right now, okay? It's, we all have bad usernames at some point in our life, okay? So I got that. A couple of them I'm going to keep.
Which ones are you keeping? That's what we want to know about.
Well, I got Mega Man 5, which is a rare game for the NES. I'm excited to have that one in my collection. I also got
I've never even heard of it.
Mega Man 5?
Yeah, not that, I mean, I'm sure they're all numbered and
what is this Mega Man
and everything.
What is Mega Man?
So I figured, but I didn't realize it was on the NES.
Yeah, Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was it up to Blind Hostility? Help me out. Blind 6 is up to on the NES, and then 7 was on this PlayStation. 8 was on the PlayStation. 9 was on the PlayStation, I think, and then 10 was on, or 9 was on. 9 was on WiiWare, and 10 was on WiiWare.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think that it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then there's also another rare one that I got called All-Star Softball. I don't know much about this game. I just know that it's rare because it was like a low production run or something like that. So I want to look into it and learn some things about it. But I got one other really cool thing that I need to like show off because it's really, really cool. I don't know if you can see.
You keep flashing it into view, and I'm like, I want to see what it is.
Hey, what's up, Bracken? Just showed up in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're talking about Nintendo stuff. Bracken is a friend that I know from another world. But this thing right here, okay, so I'm just going to show it off. This is Mario Brothers Game & Watch.
What?
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have this. It doesn't work right now. I think I need to change the battery. This is from 1983, and this is an original one back in the day, not Japanese, obviously the American one when it came over and everything. But I just think this is so cool. It has a Mario side and a Luigi side. I don't know much about how the game is going to play. There's 2 others there that I might be purchasing as well. So next week, keep an eye out because I might have even more Game & Watch game stuff to show off for the recent swag. But this is just a star in my collection that I'm going to hang up there. Everyone can see it. I'm excited to have it. I think it's really cool. That's it for my recent swag, I believe. You know, this whole
good stuff on both sides.
this whole section was started a long time ago because we wanted to just like what's it called, brag about our pickups and stuff like that. Well, it was me. It was only me that wanted to brag for the most part. But I think I don't know. I love being able to.
Well, do you remember that Blind Hostility, who's in the chat, was the one who named it? We had like a little kind of contest of sorts to name the new section where we talked about stuff, and Blind Hostility won with his suggestion of recent swag.
Yeah,
for the name.
We loved it. We thought it was a perfect name. I think it stood the test of time too. I don't feel like we need changes. Obviously, it's done a good job. All right, so let's go ahead and get into what we've been playing. This is a section where we're going to talk about some games that we have recently been playing, either things that we have purchased or back catalog type things. Whatever the case may be, it's just things that we have been playing recently. Before we get into that, I have a question that I'd like to ask the chat. Hey, chat, how you doing? What questions, this is like weirdly phrased, what questions do you have about Mario Party if you have any questions about Mario Party? I've talked to...
Super Mario Party, specifically.
Super Mario Party, yes, Super Mario Party. So I personally am not really enticed by Super Mario Party. For some reason, it just doesn't look all that fun, and it looks really slow. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm not all that interested in it. But if there's anybody in the chat that has questions about Super Mario Party, because it is kind of a divisive game, at least it seems that way on the internet, let us know, and we can throw those out onto Holly, who's played a lot of the game, or a decent amount of the game, and can give us some feedback on it. Does that make sense? We all in agreement here?
Makes sense to me.
All right.
This is out of context, but Blind Hostility does give us a little thumbs up emoji, so we'll take it.
Yes, thank you, Blind Hostility. We thank you. Let's go ahead and talk about what we've been playing now, if that sounds like a good time. So Holly, because you have been playing Super Mario Party, let's talk about it. Give us some info. What should I go out and buy this game?
I would say yes. Blind Hostility actually already has a question. Why are you hating on the game, Matt? A very pertinent question.
I think, and I wish my daughter, if she's still watching, obviously pay attention to this guy. But if you're still watching, are you interested in this game, Lillian? Are you interested in Super Mario Party? I want to know what my daughter's take on this is, because I doubt my wife, Bridget, are you interested in Super Mario Party? Do you want to play some Mario Party with me? Maybe she will. I don't know.
Family.
Maybe Gentis and his wife play Mario Party games, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she does, and she just hasn't told me. If you do want to play this game, let me know. But Lillian, is this a game that you have seen and are interested in? I'm interested in your thoughts on it, because to me the game looks really slow, monotonous, and just not a lot of fun. I don't know why I feel this way. None of the trailers have excited me, I guess. So, Holly, what are some things that I may be misunderstanding? Why should I be excited for Super Mario Party?
Okay, well, for one thing, the idea that it's monotonous, unfortunately, that is false.
Okay.
Oh, Lily's question, can I have it?
Do you want it? I'm asking if you want it.
I think that's yes. I'm going to tell you why it's awesome.
Okay.
There's tons of modes. I was just blown away when I first started the game. Tons of very different modes that you can try out.
Okay.
And I've tried to I've tried as many as I can, including Toad's Rec Room, in case you're curious about how I feel about that.
I don't even know all these modes. See, that's the other thing is like I feel like for whatever reason, I just haven't spent enough time like researching this game because it didn't catch my interest very much. So explain what is Toad's recreational room? Is that where he gets recreational?
It's that mode where you can kind of combine two switches in handheld mode. And play, like, for example, that little tank game where you can kind of create your own map by kind of pairing the two when they're in kind of tablet mode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but you need to have two
one
of them.
The games, so
I don't have two switches. Does Lily need a Switch too?
This has been.
Does Lily need a Switch too if I get this game? Like, do I need to buy another Switch? And honey, we got to buy Bridget. We need to buy a Switch. I guess that's what I'm being told.
Oh, great. I shouldn't have started with that. It was actually, so far, it's the weakest mode that I've tried just because, like, everyone gathered around, like, these tiny little screens. Because, you know, they're somewhat tiny when you've got, like, 4 people playing together.
My wife does not want to play it, she said. She's not interested, it turns out. I thought I'd ask.
Listen to your daughter on this one, I think. Anyway, there's other modes, though.
How many
so there's
boards
regular
are there?
Old party mode. Oh, unfortunately, it does kind of lack in that area.
Mm-hmm.
In regular party mode, which everybody is familiar with. I think there are like 3 or 4 boards open at the beginning, and you unlock 1 or 2 more. I can't remember.
Are they all diverse?
Numbers.
Are they all different enough that you feel like you're playing a different board each time, or do they start to feel very samey?
Well, that's the thing, because I've tried to sample as many modes as I can. Like, I can't really speak for that because I've only tried like 1 map in each mode.
Okay.
And some modes don't even have maps. So there's this really interesting mode that Nintendo hasn't promoted a whole lot, where you're just going in and playing these really fast-paced, rhythmic mini games, just one after the other. And you're just basically shaking the controller, and if you want to get way into it, you can stand up and do all the poses and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, Lily says she loves Toad. Funny enough, like, you can't play as Toad or Toadette in this game. They're like the hosts.
Lily says,
I don't know if that's a deal breaker there.
Lily says that she has told me 1,000,000 times that she does want it. I don't remember her telling me 1,000,000 times, okay? I don't know if I remember that. It's my birthday coming up, though. Like, Lily, you could buy this for my birthday, and then we could play it together. Right? That's how it works.
Normally, people would do that. Like, the person buying it comes up with that idea because they want to play it, if that makes any sense.
I don't want to play. See, I'm not.
So this is like a weird reverse thing.
Lily, we're waiting for Munchkin to come out. That's the thing. Hey, Kodai, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. We've had some fun already. We're talking about Mario Party. Do you have Mario Party? Do you want to buy Mario Party? Do you want to play Mario Party? Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the chat. Closing thoughts about Mario Party so we don't spend the entire evening talking about it. Is there one final point of selling that you want to put out here? Hey, Major Maxim just showed up. Friend of ours from Twitter, and just an all-around great dude. Matt Hawley made it. Better late than never. Yes, thank you so much for showing up. It doesn't matter when you show up as long as you show up, obviously. What are you up to? Are you playing any video games while you're listening to this podcast thing? We've been talking about Mario Party. Major Maxim, he's somebody that buys a good hefty amount of games. He's a gamer. He enjoys the enthusiast aspect of it. Are you buying Super Mario Party? Have you tried Super Mario Party? Do you want Super Mario Party? Please let us know your thoughts and opinions in the chat if you could. But once again, Holly, one final sales pitch, Super Mario Party. Why do I need to buy this for my daughter?
River rafting.
Okay.
So the river rafting mode, which Nintendo Treehouse demoed, and it sold me, just watching this gameplay, sold me on the game. It's actually a cooperative mode where you're working together to row with motion controls, and I think it's fun. I mean, if you hate motion controls like so many people seem to, then, well, that's your problem, because river rafting is awesome. You have to cooperate. It's ideal to have 4 people, and you have to cooperate to row down this river, and you try to hit balloons so that you can play mini games together, like you're playing cooperative mini games.
Okay.
And you're adding time to the clock to see if you can make it down to the very end of your river tour. And it is just oodles of fun. Like, it was the first mode that I tried at a game night, at a big game night that I had, and It was a hit. It was a huge hit. We just loved it.
It sounds interesting. It sounds very interesting. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look into it. We'll talk more about it, I'm sure, in the future, especially if it's a game that gets a lot of play from you. We may be talking about it again in a what we have been playing, because it would be what you had been playing. So I'll talk very briefly about a couple of games that I have been playing since my wife and daughter are gone, and my 5-year-old goes to school. I am left at home with my 3-year-old and my baby, and both of them are pretty chill, it turns out. We're just like a chill family that just hangs around the house and doesn't you know, I take care of my chores that I have to take care of. And Major Maxim said, I did not buy Mario Party booked online. Because I think I remember hearing him say something on Twitter.
Because the full board game experience wasn't online.
Yeah, me and Holly talked about that briefly off off of the podcast. Briefly, she thinks that the board game would be a poor idea. Is that correct? To bring online?
Yeah, that was kind of my thought. Like, to have the whole board game, it would drag even more than it already does in local play. But here's the thing: the online still has a huge problem, and that's that, seemingly anyway, the minigame selection seems to be really lacking. Like, I haven't actually tried it myself, but my friend Kelly was trying it at my house at my game night, because, you know, I had a lot of people over. Mm-hmm. And sorry, typing on my phone, no wonder.
It's all good.
I had a lot of people over, so, you know, we weren't all able to necessarily play at the same time. We were kind of teaming up, but my friend decided to just kind of try the online for the first time. And afterwards, she's like, I feel like we were getting like the same mini games, like, and there was only a really slim selection. There's like 80 plus mini games in this game. And she said that the selection was like, I think she said like 10 or 12 or something like that.
See, but that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't even surprise me a little bit, because Nintendo does this thing where they take a good idea like Mario Party Online and they hurt it in some way. I do believe that we should be able to play. We should be able to have Nintendo Fever Podcast Game Night Mario Party Edition, where we get, you know, 4 people together, me, you, and 2 of the listeners that show up first, and we play Mario Party board game and stream it. That would be a blast. Awesome. I want to do this. But not play 12 mini games and be done in 5 minutes.
I know everyone hates the fact that the board game is missing from online, but even just the mini games, and it could be because they're like older Mario Party games. A lot of the mini games you have to unlock. Yeah. So
that could be possible.
But oh my gosh, you guys, if you have friends to play with locally, this is like the best Mario Party that's come out since, in my opinion, Mario Party 3. On the N64, that was like decades ago now.
We were going to end this conversation about Mario Party about 4 minutes ago, so we're going to do that now. I'm going to briefly talk about a couple of games.
One positive thing.
I am going to very briefly talk about a couple of games that I've been playing, and I'm only going to speak about them because we need to move on and get into our subject of the matter of the evening. But Paladins is a fun game, and it's free to play. It's a team-based first-person shooter where you first-person shooter where you're doing different objectives. The main one that you do is where you try to capture a point, and then after you capture a point, you try to get the payload to the ending point, and then when you get it to the ending point, you basically get 2 points for that. The first team to get 4 points wins the game. You can only get 1 if you collect the spot, but you don't get the payload to the actual location. Or you can, I think that's the only way you can get a single point, is if you can capture the point before time runs out. There's also a team deathmatch mode as well. There is a lot of fun, different variety in the modes and stuff. The character selection is really nice. It is free to play, meaning that you can spend money to upgrade your characters and buy new skins, and also buy different heroes so that you're able to play with different characters as well. Otherwise, you can only do like a easy base amount of people that are leveled up basically to a certain point basically. Very fun, very, very fun game, honestly. And I don't know if you have any questions about Paladins. Have you tried it yet? It is free to play, Holly. You don't have to pay for it or anything.
I unfortunately haven't.
Okay.
Just don't have the time. I also haven't tried Arena of Valor. Is that the other free one?
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. This game is fun too. It is also a phone game, and it is crossplay, so there is always somebody to play on this game. Like it is.
Wow.
I jump into games instantaneously.
And this is Arena of Valor.
Arena of Valor, right, which is a League of Legends type MOBA. It is a multiplayer battle cooperative online
Battle Arena.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, all those letters make sense now.
It's
yes,
cooperative.
It is cooperative. You can play cooperatively, or you can play against people. Obviously, there's one-on-one mode, there's 3-on-3 mode, and there's a 5-on-5 mode. So there's a lot of variety to it. I played a little bit of League of Legends back in the day, but I never got like heavily into it because it was on computer, and I just never got into it for whatever reason. But I really like the gameplay mechanics of a MOBA. They're really fun. You get your minions that get spawned out, and they're just like these little tiny creatures that basically absorb damage. You let them get close enough to the tower so that they're being attacked, and then you go and attack the tower to take it down. And then you're able to move on to the very ending where you're trying to kill the enemy's base, basically. But it's just a really good repetitional gameplay style that is enjoyable and addictive to the point where you're like, oh, I'm going to do one more match. And then you finish that and you're going to, oh, I'm going to do one more match. Like, it's one of those games where you can just sink time into and not even realize where the time has gone. Did you say you did or you didn't try this game?
I didn't try this one either. It's really sad how little time I have now, but
yeah, it's understandable. But
cool.
It's fun.
Adult human being.
It's also a game that you can play in short bursts if you do like one-on-one mode. So you may want to try it just because, like I said, it's free to play, and it may be something you're really into, and it can be something that you'd want to spend more time with, but you don't have to put in any commitment to find out if you like it or not. The reason why Paladins, Major Maxim actually said Paladins is very good. I completely agree. So Paladins and Arena of Valor are both cross-platform games. Just like Fortnite, just like... what else is it? Oh, Diablo 3, which is coming out soon. That's going to be cross-platform as well. Like these games that are cross-platform.
Minecraft, Rocket League. Yeah, a lot of them.
Rocket League was the other one that I was thinking of, actually. This is so good for the Switch because the Switch, while it does have a decent amount of people that play games on it and stuff, when you are able to grab like a sample of Xbox and PC players and eventually PS4 players maybe, like you don't need to worry about your own system being able to sustain an online game. You can be playing it no matter what. I mean, Arena of Valor is a game that is actually playing against people who are on the phone. So like there's so many people playing this game. There's always a match to play, which is going to feed into my next thing, which is Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is the other game I wanted to very quickly talk about.
Is that cross-play also?
It is not cross-play, and that's what I wanted to bring up, is that as of right now, I don't want to say that it's dying already, which would be horrible to see happen, but every time I log in to the auto lobby, it gets less and less every time. Like, you can hold 65 people in this lobby, and obviously there could be other lobbies, because I don't know how to get to the mode anymore. I used to be able to select where I wanted to fight from, which would then allow me to see like how many people are in each one of these lobbies. It doesn't give me that option anymore. It logs me into a single lobby instead. So it is very rarely ever at 50 people in this lobby. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why that is the case. I don't know if it is not selling well. I really don't want that to be the case. I do know that I'm horrible at the game, so I don't even like playing it online, so it doesn't even matter. I've been playing the story mode and arcade mode a ton more. It is so fun. Major Maxim as well just said Dragon Ball. Yeah, because it's a really, really good game. But that's all I have to talk about for my games. If you don't have any questions, we can move on. What about you guys in the chat? What games have you been playing? I'd love to hear if there's something exciting that you've been playing.
Well, really quick, Blind Hostility says voice chat for Paladins or Arena of Valor. So we just opened up our official Discord server. You can check out our Twitter account at Nintendo Fever for the link to that. So if anyone in the chat has some real strong opinions about whether we should open up a specific voice chat channel in our Discord,
the link
for Paladins
in the chat just now. So it's either on this side of you or on this side of us. I don't know where it's at. But you can click on that thing and it'll take you to our Discord and you can join us there because we will be doing game nights and you will need to be a part of that voice chat because I don't know if Nintendo learned how to do voice chat, but I think we can figure it out before they can.
Discord's got it down.
Yes, they do.
So yep, definitely join the Discord and let us know like what types of channels that you do want to see, text or voice. Yeah. So
game specific stuff.
And we'll think about adding them.
Sorry, Blind Hostility. He still doesn't have his Switch back yet. I feel like this is a painful podcast for you. All we're doing is talking about Nintendo Switch stuff.
Let's go back to a Wii U game and play some multiplayer on Wii U.
I don't even know where my Wii U is. It's gone. It's lost. I don't even know. Where's my
Blind
gamepad?
Hostility. Blind Hostility, if you want to play something on Wii U while you're waiting for your Switch, I will do that. We'll voice chat.
You're far too nice, Holly.
Let's do it.
We're the
Monster
cynical...
Hunter!
Monster Hunter.
Or 3DS, whatever.
What is the 3DS? I don't even know what you're talking about now. None of these things exist anymore. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our feature. We're going to be talking about Japan. Yes, the place that we all want to be at, visit, and live, and do crazy stuff at and stuff. Japan! So many games take place in Japan or have a strong Japanese influence. So many games. So we're going to talk about some of those games. If you guys can think about some of the games in the chat, let us know which ones either have a huge Japanese influence or take place in Japan. We're going to be talking about some, but we'll get into that very, very quickly. But why do you think, Holly, so many things take inspiration from Japanese culture or just Japan in general? Why do you think that is?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. The way I see it, though, I feel like people outside of Japan are really fascinated by their history. Like, we love samurai, like the idea of samurai, and I was about to say ninja, but I think they're fantastical.
I mean, they're all.
What's the other one? Like, there's kind of an opposite to samurai. What is it?
I'm not sure. Ninjas were a part of Japanese culture, though. Both samurai and ninjas, both of those were real things. Assassins.
We'll take it. Demons.
I
don't know. There's
yeah, Tenchi.
That's not real, obviously. But myths and stuff, Japanese and whatnot, is I don't know. It's really intriguing to us out in the West, and maybe Japan has some pride about that. And there are so many like just visually rich things to draw from. I don't know if you knew this, Matt, but Breath of the Wild, the visual style, especially of like the ancient Sheikah people, like those, and that's some interesting visuals right there. They actually took inspiration from
aliens.
Kind of a lesser known, not aliens.
I'm just kidding.
A lesser known era of Japanese history, which is to me is really cool, because sometimes I think that the same era, like the Warring States period, isn't that an era of Japan that like a lot of things draw from?
Yeah.
So they took kind of a lesser known.
Yeah, I mean, we take myths, we take lore, we take history, all sorts of things from Japan, and just like love the way that it does different things with it and stuff. I think one of the big things about like Japanese culture is, I think from everybody that's outside of Japan, and it very well could be people in Japan too. It's hard to know for sure, but like on the outside, me, Matt, in Idaho right now, I look outside and I see Japan, out my window basically, and I'm just like, man, they look like they just have all the tech. Like they are living in a tech, place that is just unbelievable with all the amount of tech that they have, and that just sounds cool. Like everything is very teched out and very cool and stuff like that. So many different things, like Ghost in Shell is something that I immediately think about when it comes to just like overdoing like the Android and stuff like that. Oh, what's up, Benjamin? I just noticed that he was here as well. Luigi's Dark Moon, finally looking forward to Luigi's Mansion to come out on Switch when 3 comes out. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about Japanese culture right now. I don't know, that's my personal opinion, is why everything gets so heavily influenced. Is we love the culture, we love the lore, we love the mythology behind Japanese culture, and then it's just like tech. Like every part of tech has always been teched out in Japan for some reason. I don't know why that is. They
love experimenting with that.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Major Maxim just said, just beat Fantunk. I don't know how to say that. What word is that?
He may have botched it. He's on his phone.
He's on his phone.
Maybe not.
I am currently playing RE Revelations 2 Video Kid. Video Kid looks really cool. Pio, Art of Balance, Dragon Ball, Crypt of the Necro Dancer, a little something, Friends of 4, and just
Monster Hunter.
Who plays that game? And finish Tomb Raider, man. You always playing a good selection of games. I want to hear about Video Kid one of these days. Video Kid just looks like a lot of fun. I see you mouthing something. Are you talking to me?
What's POI?
POI.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's a Switch game. It was an indie game that came out on it. It looks like a very fancitical art style with like muted colors. I'm pretty sure that's the game that I'm thinking of. I don't know. Look it up. It looks interesting.
Okay.
But yeah. So let's go ahead and keep talking about Japan. Obviously, is it your dream place to visit, Holly? Like I know that for instance, me personally, I would love to go to Japan. I want the food. I want the games. I want the Dragon Ball. I want just everything that they have to offer in so many different ways. Obviously, no, Fan to Rock. I don't know what Fan to Rock is. Oh, Fanta Rook. Sorry, I thought I saw a C. Fanta Rook. I'm gonna look this game up because I just have to know what this is, if it's a Switch game or not. But keep going about the living in Japan. Is it somewhere that you want to visit, live? Like, what's your opinion on that kind of stuff?
I'm not much of a traveler. Like, I don't have a huge desire to travel. I'm a weirdo like that, I guess. But if I were to travel, like, Japan would probably be my top choice, just because, I'm kind of a Nintendo fanatic, and
Yes.
Nintendo Minute in particular, like, they actually did a video where Kit and Krista go to Japan and they kind of chronicled their adventure out in Japan and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I really wish. And then there's cool stuff that you can come back with, like cool video game art books and other swag. So I want to go buy it.
Yeah, when my wife and daughter were in New York, I told them, "Oh, you got to go to the Nintendo store," forgetting that they closed the Nintendo store in Japan or in New York. So they couldn't go to it at all. Yes, it's closed. They had their big sign, no Nintendo, no more. So they were unable to go and check it out, which I thought was so sad because it was me living vicariously through them, obviously. If they make it there, then I get to hear about their experience and not have been there at all. So whatever. But now I know I can never go there regardless, so it doesn't even matter. I want to go visit Japan, like I said, for the food, the culture, just everything about it and stuff. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. Let's talk about a couple of games that are heavily inspired from Japanese culture or something Japanese inspired in some way. The World Ends with You. The entire game centers around that very busy metropolis area that is always shown whenever you hear about like Japan and Tokyo and stuff. The big area in the middle where there's a huge sidewalk and there's all the lights and all the colors and they have
crosswalks.
Exactly. It's called man, do you know what is it?
That's probably Shibuya.
Yeah,
I mean, that's probably terrible pronunciation, but
yeah, maybe. But yeah, exactly.
The dog statue, 10-4,
so
or 104, the 104.
And the game does not only grab influences from the fact that it's taking place inside of this very commercialized and known about area in Japan, but also just so many parts of it, right? Like the pin system that's in it, like Japanese culture. Lots of collectibles, lots of trading, lots of things that people will go to the reason why we have those mystery gotcha balls is what they are called in Japan, but the reason why we have those like mystery balls that come out when you put the quarters in and you turn it and then it shoots out something and you're like, oh, what I get? And you're like, oh, I got, the terrible character that nobody wants. I got to play more so I can get the better character that I do want. They are heavily inspired in those kinds of things, obviously. So like the pin system, just so many things about it and stuff. I don't know. I loved the look and style of The World Ends with You. It's one of my favorite ones.
To me, that's like one of the big appeals of it is just this gorgeous kind of character art and other art. It's very, it doesn't represent reality that well. It's very stylized, and I like that about it. And yeah, I mean, the game, like, the culture of Tokyo is a huge part of the game. Like, you're watching like trends in certain regions of the city or whatever. You're trying to wear clothes of the right brand because they'll give you better buffs and things like that in battle. It is a huge aspect of
that. You bought it, correct? You got it digitally.
Oh yeah.
So have you put any time into it yet?
A teeny bit. I took a huge nap today, so I didn't play a ton. But yeah, I started it. The remixed music is what really got me right off the bat. I was like, this is amazing. Even the title theme has been remixed. And it just sounds great. And that's actually one of my favorite tracks in the game. And so the music caught me, and just the gorgeous graphics. The gameplay, that's definitely an interesting thing. Have you tried it yet? Have you got it yet?
I did not get it. I don't know for sure if I'm going to, because I'm hearing some poor things about it, and I would rather stick with my
gameplay.
Yeah, about the gameplay. I would rather stick with my DS version of it that I love and cherish and have a blast playing, and not I don't need it. It is not a cheap game, Holly. I am surprised that it is not a $30 game. It is not. It is a $50 game, and I don't know if I want to spend $50 on a game that I may not like all that much.
Well, the touch control, so you can play it in handheld mode, and the unfortunate thing is that, I mean, you can't do this in TV mode, and that's
which makes sense.
Thing. But in handheld mode, I mean, it plays pretty similarly to the original, because touch screen controls.
Does it look
So
does it how different does it look though, knowing that you don't have that second screen? Like, are you missing? I mean, because I don't know. Like, to me, a DS game is so heavily reliant on the top and bottom portions of the screen. Now, instead of that, you have this stretched out screen, this very much wider screen, obviously. But are you missing like the DS feel, look to it at all?
I would say no. I
Okay.
think it looks just fine. In fact, it kind of simplifies the gameplay in a way, as far as I can tell. I mean, I've only played like probably just under an hour. I don't
Okay.
know, but it kind of simplifies the gameplay. So the original game, to me, that is what was like way too complicated. Like you're trying to swipe on
Mm-hmm.
the touch screen to have Neku, the main character, attack in that way, and then he has a partner character up on the top screen that attacks
Using the
with button presses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're trying to coordinate because there are these combos that you can do, but you have to hit the right directions on the D-pad and stuff, but you're trying to swipe too. It was insane, like the amount of multitasking.
But when
I
you
ended up
nailed
lowering
it,
the difficulty.
but when you
Huh?
nail it, it feels so good. When you get good at the combo system, I love the combo system. Like, I don't
I mean,
love
I
it.
played it a good 10 hours and I never came to like it that much. I actually eventually just had my partner character just do whatever the heck that they
yeah,
wanted.
you can set them to an auto basically.
Yeah.
I need to put it back in my DS. I need to try it again. Like, it's been many years since I played it. We did I guess 2 years ago. It wasn't it our very first Game Club game, or did
I
we?
feel like that's true.
I
Yeah.
feel like that was
Maybe
our
it was
very.
Zelda. No, it wasn't Zelda actually.
No, because Zelda was when Bradley came, so it was before him. So it had. I think the world ends
You
with
remember this better than me.
Well, I mean, I have a steel trap for a memory. No, I do feel like possibly it was our first. We'll move on and we'll talk more about it, I'm sure, as you get more time into it. And who knows, maybe I'll buy it.
For sure.
I don't know.
Starting next week.
Okami. Okami is a game that was a PlayStation 2 game, became a Wii game, and then a PS4 game, and an
Became
Xbox
an
game.
everything else game.
An
It's on
Android game.
PS3. I have it on PS3.
Oh, okay. Well, it's everywhere, and you can buy it everywhere, and you can even get it with the game box with an
On the
IGN
Switch
logo.
now.
Yes, it is literally everywhere.
The IGN logo.
I don't know if I've never cared about this game. I've never played it. I've never given much.
Interesting.
I'm not. I don't know. There's always been a disconnect. But it is Japanese old school culture to the T. From the water paint, from the way that the calligraphy. What's it called? Is that what it's called? Calligraphy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Cool.
yeah. I mean, you're not doing anything fancy, just circles and lines and things.
I would be fancy with it. I would try.
Then you would probably lose all your battles. But
At least I'd look fancy.
that's pretty much all. Have you seen like the visuals in action or anything like that? It's a gorgeous game.
I know the game. I know what this game is. It's obviously people love this game. Benjamin in the chat just said Okami was fun. People love this game. I have nothing against it at all. It's just never been my cup of tea for some reason. And judge me if you want, but I like it when my character is a human. I don't know if like maybe I'm just like really biased towards humans or something like that, but like I'm not a big fan when like you're an animal or like a creature or like I don't know, just I like being able to look at my character and knowing they have 2 arms and 2 legs and a head and a body. Like do you remember the old Wii game that was where you played as the tarantula and the scorpion? What was that game called? Anybody remember in the chat? Please help me. Blind hostility. What was the name of this game where you played as a spider and a scorpion on the Wii? Oh my gosh. Anyways, I have to look this up real quick. Like We're Alive or something crazy like that. Anyways, that was one of the things that always made me not care about Okami all that much, is that I didn't really want to play as a wolf, which sounds weird because I really
like me in movies. I usually hate movies that like star animals, that especially when they talk, I'm like, it's just so cheesy. But I've come to love a few of them. Zootopia, it's a good game.
All that I typed
Very
in.
American game.
I typed in
a little off with that.
I typed in Wii Spider Game, and all it does is show me Spider-Man. I don't know why that is. This isn't what I don't want. Spider-Man.
Awesome.
Oh, Deadly Creatures.
Just
That's what it was called.
A spider can.
Deadly Creatures was the name of this
Deadly
game.
Creatures.
Yes.
Okay.
This game was fun. It was very fun. It really was a lot of fun. But I would have liked to have played as a human at some point in it. Deadly Creatures. Yeah. A Major Maxim got it right, perfect as always. Yes. Anyways, let's move on before we go too crazy with this. Tokyo Mirage Sessions. You're gonna have to talk about this one because I know nothing about it.
Oh yeah, Tokyo Mirage Sessions,
Hold on,
which is that weird game.
Major Maxim, I agree. That game is awesome. It really is really good, but I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if like I was a
It was
humanoid.
Deadly Creatures.
Yeah, it was.
Still?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was. I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I was like a humanoid version of a spider. You know, like I stood on all 8 of my legs, or no, 6 of my legs, and then I had 2 legs up in the air that I was able to like kung fu karate.
That that's a weird quirk to have there, liking video game or disliking video games where you play as an animal or creature.
I feel like it's an odd one. I'm not gonna
Totally
try it.
random though.
I'm not gonna defend myself. All right, let's go on to Tokyo Mirage Sessions before we go too far down
Tokyo
the hole.
Mirage Sessions. Obviously, Tokyo Mirage Sessions takes place in Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
It's a weirdo crossover that nobody saw coming, and I mean, even it doesn't even really, I guess, match very well with either of the series. I feel like that it is a crossover of, and that is of Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem. So, but it takes place in modern day
Sort of.
Tokyo, and it's very bright and colorful, and it's like it's revolves around the pop culture, the music and the other entertainment of Tokyo and things like that. And yeah, very, very Japanese, enough to where Nintendo didn't see the need to dub it in English, which to me at first was all like, oh, okay, this is a little odd. I like dubs, but I really actually got used to the Japanese voices just with the English subs.
Mhm.
So, and I just loved it. This is a great one. Takes place in Tokyo, like I say, and then it also takes place in these weird alternate versions of Tokyo locations, but very excellent game that I really hope gets ported to the Switch. It's only come out on one system. It is like, a Nintendo exclusive, and it came out on the Wii U. So I feel like it could find some additional success, seeing as how the Wii U was a failure, if it came to the Nintendo Switch.
She's saying
That is one of my top 3 games that I want ported to
Really?
the Switch.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That game is definitely not
Love
my
it.
cup of tea. I have no
Yeah.
interest or
Right,
desire.
it's a JRPG like to the core, but it's got some fantastic battle mechanics that I mean, it's very repetitive. You're doing a lot of grinding, but the battle system somehow never gets old. It's very entertaining to watch because it's very performance based. These characters are like singers and actors and so forth. And so it's very flashy, very fun. I loved it.
Might be something that I try. Major Maxim, was that a game that you tried? Did you ever try Tokyo Mirage Sessions? The next game we're going to talk about is a
Slight
game
tongue twister there.
that I think is really cool. I only played it a handful of times. I owned it at one time and then sold it stupidly because for some reason I thought like I'm never going to beat this. Like I don't know why I got rid of it, and I wished I wouldn't have, obviously, for many reasons, but
We all have games like that.
Miramasa, the Demon Blade. What a great game. What
Nice
an awesome game. Just stellar visual style with the old school, very water painted, very heavily bolded character design and stuff. Huge weapons and like oversized boss battles. And they were just all like that funky looking Japanese where it's just like very over expressive and stuff. Just an awesome game in so many ways and heavily inspired by Japanese culture, obviously. I believe
It takes place in some era that I forgot the name of. I mean, I looked it up, so
and that's kind of
but
the
I forgot it now.
That's kind of the interesting thing about these things that have strong Japanese influences is they usually take like this piece of like the history that is like legitimate history, like real things that happened or real characters in the world of some time period. But then they do like, they fantasize it, obviously. It's kind of like what we do with like Davy Jones' Locker and like the things that happen with pirates and things like that. American culture, we don't really do that too much, but we definitely do it with like European culture a little bit and stuff like that. Pirates and different things like that. So like, I think, Americans.
Greek mythology.
Yeah, and Greek
Huge.
mythology, Roman mythology. Like I think for whatever reasons, maybe America just isn't quite old enough yet to have our fantasies lived out in a way like that. Maybe
I would definitely say that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just cool, and that's what Miramasa and the Demon Blade is. It is taking this like Japanese history and it's making it a myth and using lore from it, which is just really cool. Obviously, did you play this
It's a gorgeous game.
Yes,
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever
gorgeous? Whew.
Did you ever play this on any of the HD systems?
No, I didn't. I keep thinking like maybe they'll port it to the Switch. I don't know. It's not like Okami in that it gets ported to pretty much everything.
Hey, Andy,
but it has come to HD systems, has it?
Yes, I believe it has. I believe it came to the PS4. I thought it did. Maybe I'm wrong. What's up, Andy? Thank you so much for stopping by. He says, hey, folks, sorry I'm late, dropping in quickly as I'm in the middle of moving apartments. Well, keep the apartment where it's at. Don't move it. It would save you a whole lot of time. But if you need to move your things from one apartment to another, I can understand that a little bit more. Anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. We are a weekly show. If you did not know about us already, just make sure you show up on time next time. I'm just kidding. We're happy to have you anytime you want to stop by. We are talking about Japanese culture inside of video games right now. That is what we are doing. We just talked about Miramosa and the Demon Blade, but we're going to move on to a game that I love and adore, and a game that I have nothing but praise for. It's the game that sold me on Pokemon. It is Gold and Silver, and it is definitely heavily influenced by it's definitely influxed by Japanese culture. Totally, absolutely, totally. Oh my goodness. Holly, save me. Why is Pokemon Gold and Silver such a good Japanese inspired game?
Well, for what it's probably the most Japanese inspired of all the Pokemon games.
I'd agree.
Each one kind of takes place in a region that is inspired by some real life, country or culture. And this is the one, I think, Kanto, that's like a real Japanese place, I believe.
It's a Japanese
but it
word.
Wasn't. Yeah.
I don't know.
But Kanto wasn't, the Kanto region, which was, Gen 1, it wasn't necessarily like super Japanese. So Gen 2 is where they really made it Japanese. You got the, what's it called? The tower. The tower is always like the big thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
Architecture,
yes, and
very Japanese.
Even the two tower. Even the two Pokemon, the two legendary Pokemon that were in it, were inspired by the Japanese architecture of these buildings and what they were called. I don't know why I can't say that word. It will not come out of my mouth correctly. I apologize. But like, it is interesting what you just said about how all the Pokemon games are Japanese, both in the way that it's created and the way that they're even presented for the most part. But they are like this modernization where it's almost Americanized Japanese, which is something we see happen often in a lot of Japanese media. They make it Americanized in some sort of sense so that they can be sold to an American market sometimes. Also, the same way we fantasize about Japanese culture, they love American culture. The same reason why they love Blue Jeans by Wrangler and all this other crazy stuff that they enjoy and stuff. But Gen 2 with Gold and Silver is the most Japanese stylistic out of all of them by far. I mean, maybe
Sprout Tower.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Name. Thank you. Which is very, very interesting. I don't know what you guys think about this as well. What is your favorite Pokemon game? Do you disagree with what we're saying when it comes to Gen 2? Was Gen 2 the most Japanese of all of the Pokemon games, or am I just talking madness as I often do?
I'm the one who added it to the list on the notes, so
it's your fault.
Come at me.
I love, ever since Holly went back to college, she's just become like a straight savage, just like very cynical about the world and stuff. She's just, I can take on anything. No one can stop me. I love it. I absolutely love it. So yes, that is our talk about Japanese video games. But I want to talk a little bit more about a couple things. We are actually running out of time. We are at time basically for the show. This took up.
We never do that.
I know.
What's wrong with us?
There's no rambling. There's no
sarcastic
side conversations that happened. It's all just like straight to the point of what it was supposed to be.
We are, laser focused.
So. Before we go, I want to hear if anyone in the chat agrees, disagrees about Pokemon, so we're going to stick around a little while longer, obviously. But then also, not just games, but movies and TV shows are also sometimes heavily inspired. You've never seen any of the Matrix movies, correct?
I saw the first one.
You saw the first Matrix movie? Okay, I wasn't sure.
I did.
So those are heavily Japanese inspired, and I love them. And then there's something even better than the Matrix movies. There was the Animatrix. Did you ever hear about the Animatrix?
Oh,
so
nope.
The Animatrix was 6 short films, all taken on by a different Japanese director, and then each one of them was made into a short story inside the world of the Matrix. But like, there's some really cool ones. There's some really, really super stylized ones. It's just a super interesting compilation of movies and stuff like that. Benjamin says, "Go Brewers!" Oh, that's who was on the Discord. It's Benjamin. Benjamin, your name is very misleading on our Discord server because I thought you were somebody else. I thought you were somebody else that I knew from Twitter, but it turns out you are the other person that I know from Twitter. And Holly knows you on Twitter as well. You remember Benjamin?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's who that person was in Discord. We were having this whole conversation. We're like, I don't know, maybe it's a spy. Just kidding. We never,
I know.
we never said that.
Matt, I know we're supposed to go live in 2 minutes, but
Who is this?
Who just got into the Discord? I don't know who this is.
Instantly,
but I do now.
Instantly, she gets.
I love knowledge.
Instantly, she's just terrified. She's like, I only open this Discord thing up to people I know. We can't. It can't be like everyone public. It can only be like I know. It's great.
It's public now.
It's public. It's public. It's out there. All right, guys. I think that's gonna do it.
Everybody who did.
Yeah. So let me drop a link real quick. I'll put it in the description as well. So if you're watching this after the fact and you can't see the chat anymore, down there in the description you will be able to see the link to get you to the Discord. Inside the Discord, we're gonna have all sorts of fun, all sorts of crazy stuff's gonna happen for sure. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm somebody who is new to Discord. I don't fully understand it, and I don't even understand what it is. I don't know what. Never mind. It's too late to educate an old man. But I'll enjoy it for what it is and what it's worth. So until next time, we'll talk to you more later. Join our Discord. I'll drop a link in there. Holly, where can people find you if they want to find you on the internet? Which I feel like every time we do a show, you instantly change your stance on social media because I just dropped the link inside the Discord for the Discord. That makes no sense at all. There you go. There it is now.
Here you guys go. Now that you're in our Discord server, come back to it repeatedly.
It's going to be an endless loop. Anyways, where can people find you, Holly?
Twitter is a good way. Right now, Discord is the best way. I'm taking a little break from social media, but on Twitter, you can DM me. I will get DMs. Mm-hmm. I'm at Lil Red Koopa. Mm-hmm. And of course, Discord is now a very excellent way to get in touch with me. So.
Very cool, very cool. You can find me on Twitter as well. My favorite way to talk to people, honestly, it really is. At only Matt Desend, and I will. Right now, there's a picture of a Titans player or Titans logo on. I don't know why I keep doing this for the profile picture, but there's a Titans logo on there because I'm a huge Titans fan. Go Titans! They're gonna win on Sunday. Don't tell me otherwise. I believe.
Are they playing the Brewers? Is that the big thing?
No. They're playing the.
I don't even know
Ravens.
What Brewers.
Brewers is baseball, right, Benjamin? Tell me if I'm correct or wrong. I believe Brewers is baseball. Wow, we look really nerdy right now. Like, what sports ball is the Brewers play for? Which one of them? I don't know, but they have to be big and muscular to play it. I bet. That's more geeky.
Oh yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, yeah, I'm not into sports. Talk to my brother.
Okay, so
about that, I'll convince him to get a Twitter, and then you guys can talk about football and basketball and maybe a little bit of baseball to your heart's content.
Oh, Brewers are winning right now. The Milwaukee Brewers are playing the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they're winning 6-1 on the bottom of the 7th inning, which means it is baseball. I was right. Yeah, baseball. Baseball's good.
Nice.
Okay, so. You can find us on Twitter. You can also find the show, Nintendo Fever, on Twitter as well. You can find the show here on YouTube, which hopefully one day we do some other fun stuff on the channel besides the podcast, obviously. But yeah, I think that's about all I got to say. Thank you guys for stopping by, talking about video games with us. We appreciate it. Like I said, we're a weekly show. We happen every Friday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is an hour from right now when you're watching it, an hour ago, basically. But if you're watching it before that, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which would be 7 p.m. Central Time and 6 p.m. Oh, no, wait. 2 hour ahead. I don't know what I'm saying.
Who?
9
what
p.m.
time
Central.
Zone are we looking at?
Mountain Standard Time would be 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes.
And then 10 p.m.
And 10 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, there you go. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so that's it for us. We gotta run. I gotta stop talking. Otherwise, I'm gonna ramble. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Keep on playing them video games until your fingers don't work no more. And until next time, goodbye.
Arigato for watching. I hope I pronounced that right.